Have you ever wondered why men and women get such different results from doing squats? You see countless videos showing squat transformations, but have you noticed that the effects aren't quite the same? Today on Fitness Tips, we're diving deep into the fascinating science and real-world truths behind how squats affect men and women differently, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. Whether you're squatting to build strength, tone your glutes, or improve overall fitness, understanding these differences can change the way you train forever. So, let's get into it. Squats are arguably the most popular and fundamental exercise in any workout routine, and for good reason. They engage multiple large muscle groups, improve functional movement, enhance athletic performance, and sculpt your lower body. But here's where it gets interesting: the biological and physiological effects of squatting in men versus women vary more than you might think. This isn't just about appearance, it's about anatomy, hormones, biomechanics, and even nervous system response. Let's break it down. First, let's consider muscle fiber composition. Men and women naturally have different muscle fiber types and distributions, which influences how they respond to strength training like squats. Men tend to have a higher proportion of type 2 muscle fibers. These are fast-twitch fibers responsible for explosive power and growth. That's one reason why men often experience quicker muscle size gains from squatting. Women, on the other hand, generally have more type 1 muscle fibers, slow-twitch fibers, which are more endurance-oriented and resistant to fatigue. This means women might build more muscular endurance and toning from squats but may not see the same rapid hypertrophy or muscle bulk that men do. But here's the catch: this doesn't mean women can't build muscle, just that the process is different, often slower, and influenced heavily by other factors like hormones. Now, speaking of hormones, this is a huge piece of the puzzle that most people overlook. Testosterone, the hormone that drives muscle growth, is naturally much higher in men than women, about 10 to 15 times higher. This hormonal difference means men have a greater potential for muscle hypertrophy and strength gains from resistance training, including squats. So when a man hits the squat rack, his body is primed to grow bigger and stronger muscles much faster. Women, with lower testosterone, experience less muscle growth and size, but often get incredible improvements in muscle tone, strength, and endurance instead. Estrogen, the dominant female hormone, even plays a protective role, promoting muscle repair and reducing injury risk during exercises like squats. Let's also talk about biomechanics and body structure. This is where the "not the same" becomes very obvious. Men typically have narrower hips and a different femur angle compared to women. Women have wider pelvises and a greater Q angle, the angle between the hip and knee. This anatomical difference changes the way each gender performs a squat. For example, women often naturally squat with a wider stance to accommodate their hip structure, while men tend to have a narrower stance. This influences muscle activation patterns. Women activate their glutes and inner thighs more, while men tend to recruit more quadriceps. This means even though both genders are doing the same squat, the muscles worked and the emphasis can be different, leading to distinct training outcomes. If you've ever experienced knee pain or discomfort during squats, you're not alone. And here's a crucial fact: women are more prone to certain squat-related injuries, like ACL tears, due to differences in ligament laxity and joint stability influenced by hormones and anatomy. The hormone relaxin, which is higher in women especially during menstrual cycles, can increase ligament looseness, making joints more vulnerable. That's why proper squat form and strengthening the surrounding muscles are critical, especially for women. Men, while generally more robust in joint stability, can still face issues from improper form or overloading. Understanding these risks is key to maximizing benefits and minimizing injuries for both men and women. Another fascinating factor is metabolic and fat distribution differences between men and women. Squats are often praised for their ability to burn fat and boost metabolism, but the effect on fat loss differs by gender due to how fat is stored and metabolized. Men tend to store fat in the abdominal region and lose it faster from that area during exercise. Women generally store fat in the hips, thighs, and glutes, which are exactly the areas squats target. This means women's bodies respond uniquely to squatting, often reshaping and tightening those fat storage areas, leading to that coveted hourglass figure. However, fat loss in women from squats might happen more slowly and require complementary cardio or dietary efforts for visible results. Men may see quicker, fat-burning effects around the waistline but less aesthetic change in the lower body shape. What if I told you that men and women also respond differently on a neurological level during squatting? Studies show that men often have greater activation of motor neurons during strength training, enabling higher peak force output. Women, conversely, tend to have superior fatigue resistance and better neuromuscular efficiency over longer durations. In simple terms, men's nervous systems push for maximum power and strength, while women's systems support sustained muscle endurance and control. This difference affects how each gender should structure squat workouts. Men might benefit more from heavier weights and lower reps, while women may thrive on moderate weights with higher reps and tempo work to optimize endurance and toning. Let's also touch on recovery and muscle soreness after squatting, which differ significantly between men and women. Women often experience less delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS, than men after intense squatting sessions. This is partly due to estrogen's anti-inflammatory effects, which help reduce muscle damage and promote faster recovery. Men, while capable of greater muscle gains, may need longer recovery periods to repair muscle tissue after heavy squatting. This means that training frequency, volume, and rest days should be tailored accordingly. Women might be able to squat more often with less risk of overtraining, whereas men might benefit from more rest and focused recovery protocols. If you've ever scrolled through fitness social media, you've probably seen stunning squat transformation photos. Some show men bulking up their legs and glutes dramatically, while women showcase leaner, lifted, and toned curves. This difference isn't just genetics or training, it's science. Men's muscle hypertrophy response to squats tends to create more visible size gains, especially in the quads and hamstrings. Women's progress often shows as fat loss, muscle toning, and shape refinement. This means that goals and expectations for squatting should be gender-specific to stay realistic and motivating. Don't compare your progress to the opposite sex, embrace the unique benefits your body gets from squats. And here's something that rarely gets talked about: how age impacts squat effects in men versus women. As we age, muscle mass and hormone levels decline, but the way this decline affects squat performance is different. Older men tend to lose more muscle mass faster due to a steeper decline in testosterone, making maintaining squat strength challenging without consistent training. Older women experience a slower muscle loss but may face more joint stiffness and mobility challenges due to menopause-related estrogen decline. This means squat routines should adapt over time. Men might focus on maintaining muscle with heavier resistance, while women prioritize mobility, stability, and moderate strength training. One size does not fit all when it comes to squat variations for men and women. Because of the anatomical and physiological differences, certain squat styles may yield better results depending on your gender. For men, back squats and front squats with heavier weights can effectively build raw strength and muscle mass. Women might find goblet squats, sumo squats, and Bulgarian split squats more beneficial to activate the glutes and hips while improving balance and control. Incorporating unilateral movements like single-leg squats also helps women address muscle imbalances common due to wider hips. Experimenting with different squat types while respecting your body's cues is key to maximizing benefits. Lastly, let's not forget the psychological and motivational differences men and women often experience with squats and strength training. Studies suggest men are generally more confident lifting heavy weights and pushing limits, while women may feel more cautious, fearing injury or bulking up too much. This mindset influences training consistency and intensity, which in turn affects results. On fitness tips, we encourage everyone to smash stereotypes. Women can and should lift heavy if they want to, and men can embrace high representative training for endurance. The bottom line is listening to your body and training smart. So there you have it, the effects of squats on men versus women are complex, fascinating, and absolutely not the same. It's biology, anatomy, hormones, and mindset all combined to create unique results. Next time you squat, remember, it's not about copying someone else's routine but understanding how your body works and training accordingly. Whether you're a man aiming to build powerhouse legs or a woman sculpting lean curves, squats are one of the best exercises you can do. You just have to do them your way. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe to Fitness Tips for more insightful fitness content, and let us know in the comments how squats have transformed your body differently. Thanks for watching, and squat strong.